My name is Christopher Stiller. I'm just your average, ordinary guy. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for over 20 years, and I'm the father of 4 children. I live a typical life, ordinary in every way. Oh yeah, did I mention? I hear and see dead people. I'm a spiritual medium, and this is my story. In the mid-90s, a traumatic and serious health crisis, combined with the death of my beloved grandmother, changed my life in ways I could never have predicted. Now it is I who is changing lives. Real people in real pain, dealing with unimaginable grief, getting the chance to connect one more time with those they loved and lost. Changing people's lives and healing their souls with the help of their loved ones in spirit is my daily work, it's my passion, and my life's purpose. Welcome to my world, and welcome to Seeking Spirit.
My name is Kaan. I'm from Turkey originally, and I found out about Chris Stiller on the internet by doing a lot of research, and I'm hoping to hear from my grandmother and my best friend.
So, what do I say? Prior to you ever arriving, I said off camera to our producer out front, I said, not sure if I've ever met Kaan or not. I wasn't sure if the name would be a name that I recognized. But I said what keeps coming up was not about deceased people at that time, an issue of what I felt like to be very focused, almost at times perfectionistic qualities, but a very tunnel visioned approach to locking in and kind of achieving and getting done. Now, having said that, it might make it sound like you're so rigid. I do think you have balance. I really do. I think in your life you do have balance where it's not like total consumption of one thing, but it's almost like you're like a laser beam when you get locked in on something. It's like you do become heavily focused on that until you've created, achieved, or resolved whatever that is. Do you tend to tick that way?
Yes.
Okay. It works for you. I just didn't know who was saying this. Now, the next thing that I want to say, I hope is not going to sound general, but the only thing I was truly picking up spirit-wise was I have a female coming through, a female energy. And the thing that came up to me was this sense of, I don't know if there's a guilt, remorse, I hate saying that, but about not being present or around the person at a time when you might look back and think I should have been there, or I wished I had been more present than what you were. It isn't that you caused the death or could have prevented the passing in any way, but it had a lot of issues emotionally that they're bringing through where I feel like you would have unresolved issues around what I'm saying. Do you understand that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I don't know who she is, honestly. I don't feel like I'm elderly or old is the first thing that I want to say. And I feel like this is somebody that would be really important to you. The next thing that I want to say to you though, Kaan, is whether it makes sense or not, or whether I'm talking about your father or not, is there an issue why I feel like a difficult relationship there with the father figure?
Between me and my father?
Either your father or a male that's
Yeah.
was like the dad, because I won't know if it's biological or not. They're all the same.
Yes.
Okay, because as the female came through before you literally entered the office, the other part that came up was this aspect about your relationship with your father in life, or the father figure, where I felt strained, I felt it difficult. I feel like there's that aspect of having respect, trying to be respectful, but something just seems to be not aligned there. So does that make sense or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not feeling that. I'm not saying he's passed. I just know that they were talking about this scenario, and it would be a big enough deal that they would be bringing it up prior. So far, I haven't said a whole lot, but are you following what's been said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you have been hoping to hear from the female?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you, is this considered to be at the parental level or to your side? I just know she's not coming through elderly.
It's parental level.
So it's like the mom?
Is my grandma.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she pass young?
She's
not coming through elderly or old.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not asking you to make it fit elsewhere, but she's not coming through elderly or old. Are the details that I'm saying make sense for her?
Yeah.
Then honestly, it probably is her, but for some reason,
She looks young over there.
it's not even that I'm seeing her, but she's not wanting me to classify her as elderly or old. I promise you that. You, as much as my opening words to you about your personality and the way that I was hearing it might sound structured about you, like this focus thing, this consumed with something, accomplishment, you're very not structured. You will go with, and you're not like crazy about this, but she just did like the wind blowing. And it's like when something strikes you and it feels right, regardless what's going on in your life, there's this way of like trusting life, the energy of life and spirit, like, okay, I wasn't anticipating moving or going here, but you know what? It's all aligning, and it feels like you really follow that aspect about life. Do you do that? Have you found that in the past?
Yeah.
Like you might have ended up moving somewhere, and once you get there, you're like, holy crap, I would never have thought a month ago I'd be here.
Yes.
Because it's not even like a long time plan.
Yes.
So she has this thing where there's like this wind blowing, and you're like, oh, change direction. What I want to say to you, Kaan, though, is there's nothing careless about it. There just isn't. There's something very inspirational that she sees about the way that you can be so laser pointed on some things, but go with the flow of life. And it just seems to have a great balance for you. Now, I'm not talking about you having kids. What would be your love of helping kids, or the focus of love of helping kids? Why does that get you? I'm just not talking about your offspring.
Do you want me to explain? Not yet.
I'm glad for the reaction.
That kind of just confirms,
That what, it's
a lot of
her,
things,
or
yeah.
that this is real, or what? What does that confirm for you?
That this is
Okay.
actually real, yeah.
Well, I'm glad she hit the target.
This is not on the website. This is not on my Facebook page. This is like just really.
I don't know
personal
your
thing.
you don't have to believe me.
Just
I don't
in
know
case
your
that-
website, and I don't know your Facebook page because you're not my friend.
That was my cynical side. So like this is like something really personal. That's interesting. It just came up.
Okay. Now, I'm going to probably shoot myself in the foot because I'm going to take it further. And you're going to like, oh, no, that's not it. But what I want to tell you, Kaan, is the way she got me to say that is I felt like whether it's needy kids or kids less fortunate or something of that nature that you have such a soft spot for and such a love with. Yeah. And I don't know what you do or if it's an intent you have. But I feel like you could play like soccer with some little children from a different country. You know, and it's like taking such a vested interest in them, but they're not your offspring. Has this happened, or is this just something that's in your heart?
It's going to happen. It's in my heart. I'm planning on taking child and youth work and work for Native Child and Family Services.
Get out.
It's my biggest goal and passion.
I'm seeing you with little black kids.
Yeah?
For the record, yeah. So I don't know if you're in Africa or where. Couldn't tell you.
I never planned that far.
Who knows? But I know she got me to say it because if I'd seen you know, children of your own Caucasian, I'd think, are these your kids? But I'm pretty sure when I'm seeing like what looks like from another part of Africa,
colorful, yeah.
and less disadvantaged, that I feel like you're there spending time and connecting with, it just felt like a big deal.
Oh.
And if I say anything else about that, for her to bring it up, I feel like so proud of you. So proud of you. Now don't be crazy, she says. So the thing is, you can say, and I think it's wonderful, you're not motivated by money, but she's like, don't be insane. So there's aspects where you got to be smart about the money, and I don't think you're careless.
Okay.
But I think money's not your motivator or director in life, which I think is the bonus part. That's the wonderful part. But you don't have to live like a pauper either when you're doing this great work or helping other people.
All right.
So find a balance, because the last thing she wants is you struggling economically, no matter how good you do for others. This is really crazy. I've never, ever, ever said this to anybody in 18 years. You're not going to see it around the corner, but you will do something that's either running in government circles years from now. You'll be doing something where, I don't know if you run for office somewhere, but there is going to be some major aspect of your life, not now. It could be a couple decades from now. I have no clue. and there's no way to validate it until it unfolds. But I'm promising you, as clear as she showed me the little kids that you love and play with and have an interest in that aren't yours, she shows me like this government position, or I don't even think it's employment by the government, because that wouldn't float your boat, because there's too much restriction for you. But I do think there could be like a running for office or getting involved some way where you make a real difference. Is Dad still living?
Yeah.
I'm giving you stuff that's in the future, which honestly is not the norm. Is that stuff you were looking for?
Yeah, partially yes. Yeah, 50% of it, I would say. Yeah.
So, can I ask, would Dad live in another country or a different part of the world?
He did before.
But he doesn't now?
Well, they're all in Turkey.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So you're here in
compared to
Canada.
Yeah.
You're in Canada and they're still in Turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what I want to say to you is, I don't feel like this is soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where your status is with your relationship with your dad,
Mm-hmm.
other than what I've already said, what I felt wasn't easy, wasn't great.
Yeah.
And I am leery of telling you this. They're showing me a situation where I don't know if it's health-wise or what for him, something happens that isn't great, but I feel like you go back. You don't stay, but you go back. And then I'm not saying everything turns out beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a movie.
No, that's not how.
But I am going to tell you, there's something, no matter when this unfolds, you have the opportunity of seeing him again and connecting with him again in a way that I think will bring healing. It doesn't erase the past, and it doesn't change our history. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but she wants you to know this.
Okay.
Okay? And I don't think it's anything you can relate to right now, honestly, about either a health thing or it doesn't feel now.
I acknowledge it. Yeah.
Now, this is funny if it's grandma talking about your love life.
All right.
No, the thing that I'm asking,
Let's hear it.
well, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. You can validate that later.
Yeah.
The thing that I want to say, Kaan, is she makes me feel like there's a laid back aspect to you when it comes to that significant other thing, whether I'm talking about one person or multiple people in your life of dating or whatever this is, that you could be married for all I know. I have no clue. But she gives me this really laid back feeling like I'm not in a rush for anything, and it's like things will unfold in the way they need to be. I feel very mellow about you in this department. Is that different than what you usually are?
I have recently gone into that state of mind within the last maybe 2 months or so. Yeah.
Of like,
it's just recently
it'll
started.
be what it'll be, and relaxed, and I'm not sure I'm ready for something, so we'll just take it as it comes?
Yeah, very recently I've gone into that state of mind. Yeah.
Okay, so just know that she is acknowledging her awareness of this and where your mind is at and your belief about this. And I always think it's funny. Thank God she's not giving you dating advice. But I think it's funny that what would technically be a grandmother's coming through. But the bottom line is, it's more about, like, is that on your Facebook, what I just said? I don't know.
No.
She's going to
It's
pull
nowhere.
stuff that isn't. Yeah.
It's nowhere.
And do you hang out like in a coffee shop or something? What would be like the traditional sitting, not like Tim Hortons either. What would be the issue of like in a place that, like, I would call it like a coffee shop. I don't know if it's a jazz place, but something that's more trendy.
All right. You nailed it. Yeah, jazz.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I said coffee shop, but it just had that like trendy feeling, like if I'm down in...
That also includes the coffee shop and the trendy, yeah, everything. You said,
Okay, because she makes me feel like she's around you when you're in this atmosphere, and I feel like it's not structured as far as routine, but I feel like it is routine. So it's like you have no qualms whether you're one of these people that can sit in there with a little laptop or an iPad or something and, hook up to the free Wi-Fi and have a specialty drink or coffee or whatever. But I just felt like it's a very trendy place. I love your expression.
I would always say to my friends, I hate those people that just take their Apple laptops, go sit in Starbucks for hours. I don't want to
And
be
then you
able...
become one of them. Well, it's
Wow.
funny, hey?
Yeah.
And that's a prime example for you, but for people that may watch this episode
Yeah.
and say, be careful what you judge or who you judge because you then become.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
But there's something very relaxing about your lifestyle that you can do that. So that's a good thing. Now, what would be the issue? Is Mom living?
Yeah.
Does she want you to come home? Not to live, but because I feel like you don't really have an interest in that right now. So she's acknowledging this want from your mother.
Does she agree with me or with her?
She doesn't want to tick your mother off. She doesn't want to tick your mother off,
All right.
but she agrees with you.
Yeah. Okay.
She agrees with you.
That's-
This is unrelated to what I said about your dad
Yeah.
earlier.
I know. I know.
I just feel like your poor ma, I'm not trying to guilt you. I feel like your poor ma just wants that connection with you to see you, blah, blah, blah. Skype, I guess, isn't good enough.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. So,
This is amazing.
So-
So she's there the whole time then. Yeah.
honest to God, she'll probably see things you don't want her to. But don't focus on that, Kaan. Don't focus on that.
No.
But there's this feeling of mom really wants you to come back, needs to connect with you.
There's a lot of.
But you're
nagging
not
and bragging.
feeling it. You're not feeling it. And I don't feel like you should do it under duress or if it's not right to you. I
No.
think you've always had a good center of who you are. I really do. I think it doesn't mean your life's been perfect or you haven't made what we call mistakes.
Yeah.
But I promise you, mistakes always take you where you need to go.
Yeah.
It just redirects you. But you'll never be off track. So that's the wonderful thing. She says, trust your gut on this.
All right.
And it's not enough just to please your mom.
No.
You know, would you be more apt to pay for her ticket and have her come here?
Yeah, she offered that 2 days ago, actually.
2 days ago.
Yeah, she just offered it.
You still weren't open to it.
No, actually no.
That's okay.
It's interesting. I love my mother, but it's just
Of
I'm not
course.
open to it right now. I don't know why.
Don't worry about it. Follow your gut.
Yeah.
Follow your gut.
All right.
Okay. I think, I don't want to call it your downfall. It's not a downfall. The thing that I think has not been successful for you overall in the relationship department is,
All right. I was wondering if she was going to bring that up.
what I would tell you is, it's not that you've met bad people or not nice people or that. You have not met and I'm telling you this is the psychic part. Hey, people say, oh, he's going to say that. I don't care. She's showing it. You haven't met the one yet.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know it instantly. You will. But you'll know because the person is on the same page. It's not your personal things, your personality, your little quirks. They'll be different. You don't want somebody that's like you. That's not healthy. But you're going to find somebody that's on the same track, same page, and same direction. And when you need to pick up and go, or you feel the inspiration to do something that's out of the blue, you're not going to feel that resistance. You've not had anybody in your life that isn't, love Kaan, want him to do what he needs to do until you try to exercise it. And then there's this control thing, You'd almost think I've been married 26 years. But I've got the greatest wife. That's a rebuttal. Yeah. But the truth of it is, you've just not met that person and it hasn't jived. It's worked temporarily and for periods of months or whatever it is, but you're going to know when the same person will strap on a backpack and ready to board a plane with you to head somewhere and not know what the hell tomorrow's going to bring. Oh, you have not met that person yet.
It's good to know it'll happen.
It will. It definitely will. I need to ask you, though, about what I would classify as a friend or the male contemporary to your side that I would say ended his life. Because it's the first I'm feeling him, but when we just did that break.
That's good.
You're hoping for?
For a long time.
Long time?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to know. That's the biggest gift I can ever have. Like, this was it.
I'm happy for you,
her
Kaan.
and him. It's
I'm happy for you because I hadn't felt them before, but I have to say to come back into the reading now, it's the first I felt them. But there's this feeling where he told me or indicated in a way that it's hard to explain how I get it.
I know.
But and maybe you have that experience. It's not that it's unique to me, but it's for somebody that doesn't know what they're looking for or how to interpret it. They don't understand when I say things about how I receive it. But that feeling of accountability and responsibility, and that he did an action that caused his life ultimately to end, it's like his way of owning it. There's nothing but balance that I feel with him. So I don't care what life was like. I don't care what led him to that point. I just need you to know that I'm so balanced now, he says, that I'm good. But the thing that he got me to say was, when you got wind of this, heard of this, whatever this was, it was like this question of asking him over and over, like, how could you do that? Why, there's help. Why didn't you tell, why? Like, it's this question you asked over and over. And it's a question he can't fully answer for you, because unless you're in his mind and experiencing what he's going through and feeling the darkness of what he was going through, there's just no explanation for it. But he talks about being around you and connecting with you shortly after he passed.
Right.
And then hearing the asking of the question repetitively, whatever that is. Does that make sense?
It all does.
Okay.
I was just I don't know if I can ask him a question or...
Go for it. This is such a unique reading. Go for it.
Yeah, because I really didn't know if he really ended his life or someone did.
I get no foul play. I get right from the beginning,
Yeah.
the moment he walked in, the accountability and responsibility laid at his feet.
Okay.
And I don't think, honestly, they don't lie. Could I misinterpret something? Sure. Could I ball it up? For sure. But he came in very clear.
All the responses is
Yeah. And I don't know why I don't know if it's an asphyxiation thing or what, but I really felt like air's not getting in, so I don't know if something's cut off or what. So I don't know the manner in which he died, but it had that feeling to it, okay? You, he's talking about you. You have an amazing read on people. It's almost like instantly it's like you got a radar at the back of your neck. And honestly, you'll know instantly, first time meeting somebody, and sometimes you're like sitting, let's talk about that trendy little place.
Yeah.
You could be sitting there, and it's not that you're eavesdropping, but somebody's talking so loud, and you're like focusing on what you're doing, but listening, and you're thinking, asshole. Like, it's just like this radar thing. He's laughing about it because you honestly have a really good read on people. And it's not like they got to say a whole lot, but there's something about you picking up on the energy. Have you ever thought of doing any healing type work or work with healing and energy?
Yeah, Reiki. I've considered Reiki before, yeah.
You've had Reiki, or you went for a course?
I considered going for Reiki courses.
Oh, considered, okay.
Yeah, never turned out, but
I'm telling you, there's some natural aspect to you because of your interpretation of energy and being open and feeling energy and being able to read it. Like, honestly, you might do what I do at some point. I don't know. But I am going to tell you, there's something that seems to be like a natural healing aspect to you that I feel like, don't be surprised if you delve into that more.
Like he said, you never know who's going to come and what they're going to say, but I got all my answers, like questions answered, and the spirits that I wanted to contact, they came through, so I'm really glad, really content about it, yeah. So the first spirit came was my grandmother. She passed a few years ago, I think. I had a very strong bond with her, and everything that Chris said through her, it was just 100% accurate. It just shocked me, but in a good way again. It was really good to hear from her, everything I said. And it was very interesting to hear about, mostly about the future stuff too, which I needed, which I was asking for. And the second person came through was one of my best friends. He died, again, a few years ago. And it was a big question mark for me, because I didn't know what happened to him, how he died and all that. There were lots of question marks. And I was really upset and angry with him, that how he let that happen and all that. But those questions got answered too. So I'm really glad.